I always characterize CRMs as just a dumping ground, that it's relatively easy to get information in. You go to a trade show, you get a list of participants, you dump it in. You get, you buy a marketing list, you dump it in. And what's really hard over time is pulling the stuff back out. We've got a tool called Agile Insight where clients can upload files and run it against our database and tell them information. We routinely see clients that have 50% of the records that are on their file. Those people are no longer at that district. And so, it just proves the point that this ingestion of information is substantially easier than the maintaining it over the long haul. And getting that stuff back out, because there's nothing more frustrating for a salesperson than to pick up the phone and go to talk to somebody and, well, they left here 5 years ago, or, they died a year ago, or whatever it is. And so, that's really a waste of time, a waste of energy. And yet it's one of the real challenging problems when you're talking about data sets of the size that we manage on a daily basis.
Problem is that AI-based tool that's filling up your CRM, right, is sold at a loss, right? Most of these AI companies right now are selling their products, selling the inference on their LLMs at a loss. And, once this bubble pops for this market, you really have an unknown future cost, and coupled with that, an unknown accuracy.
Earn market share through giving it away at a loss, and then once you did establish dominance, then you turn on the click meter and start charging for every query and start charging for things. It's going to be an interesting shift in the market to see these massive data centers they're building with millions and trillions of compute cycles and things. Those aren't free. They're very expensive.
It's not a one-time cost to get those up and going. Obviously there's significant expenses there. And again, we use AI on our side where it makes sense. And with a lot of the presented data we have, we get to share that cost with our clients. It's spread across a lot of different people to make sure we can ensure that they're getting the actionable data that makes the impact when they're reaching out to personnel in a district or specific districts or schools. It just helps out.
The other thing we have with the large number of clients that we have in this space is we get a lot of reported data as well. And so, one of the things, we've got clients that are reaching out all the time, and we'll get notes that says, oh, our sales rep just talked to the school secretary and that principal's not there anymore. The new one is so-and-so. Well, the website's not even updated yet. The new information's not out. We got it word of mouth right from the source. Came from the school secretary. Or we'll get somebody's out of office email that says, hey, I retired a week ago. I'm no longer there. They're still on the website. I know it. I look and verify those things. And so, I think that's one of the other things that's really started to help is this shared compilation effort where our clients are reporting issues that says, oh, this person, we just got an out of office that says they retired yesterday. And so we're getting information well before any other source has that information, which I think is super cool.
To kind of go back on the scalability, it's great to kind of get those one-offs because we get to stay on top of it. And sometimes we have different sources that obviously are authoritative when they're talking to that person. But, during our prime, updating time, which is right about now, we're making anywhere from 300 to 600,000 updates to personnel a week. That's, that in that 600,000 universe, that's people that same role, we verified them again, or somebody completely new, or a new title for a new person. That's a significant outlay week over week. And again, AI is really good at, hey, what about this one? That scalability right now seems a little difficult.
We don't see certainly nothing in those trends are reversing. We saw this last 12 months, the highest rate of superintendent turnover we've ever seen, running about between 23 and 24%. It's really just a massive number. And we added new superintendents every week during the last year. So 52 weeks, there was at least one, quite often many more than that every week. And so there's a constant shift and change in what's going on in this environment. And those are important touch points. when a superintendent leaves a district, if that's one of your clients, you got to make sure you're in contact so they know the value that you're bringing. Vice versa, maybe they're looking to clean house and they don't like the products the last guy chose, and they're looking to boot them out and make changes. So their important sales inflection points is those kind of changes. And so being on top of that level of change, I think, is really critical for our clients and really allows you to be on top of that. But, we saw certain states where we're seeing nearly a 50% turnover in superintendents. It's just crazy numbers.
We saw some high ones. Yeah, I think they're, mid-30s.
Utah was 39%.
Yeah, there were some that were a little high. And then even, breaking it out into the size of the districts, we saw some greater volatility there as well. But yeah, and again, it all just kind of depends on the state, depends on the universe. But again, that's supers. It's a relatively small universe. It's not the people in charge of the curriculum. It's not the staff at the school that has an investment plan. It's not, the universe is pretty large. And again, with the mechanisms we have in place, it's that balancing act of using AI where it makes sense, where it complements our existing logic and data governance, and, the areas that it doesn't make as much sense. And that compilation, it's not quite there yet.